hello my gorgeous little brew tubers who join me in the brew shed for a lovely sunny Sunday brew day thing. What am I brewing today? I am brewing a stout for my Dark Side Beer Festival, which I'll be hosting on the 24th of November. So just dark beers only, the dark side of the beers. So this is one of the beers I'm doing. It's a chocolate stout which I will split into two. One will be just plain chocolate stout, the other half will be peppermint. I'm going to be using my tea bag trick and just boiling up some peppermint tea, which is just pure peppermint, there's no tea in it, and then adding that to one of the kegs. I've got two half kegs, so I'll do that. And yes, split it into an ordinary batch and a peppermint batch. The recipe has been sent to me by Hapless, Graham. It is his salted caramel chocolate stout. I'm just doing away with the salted caramel part, just doing the chocolate stout, and then obviously adding flavourings to half of the batch. So the recipe is 3.5 kilos of Marisalted pale malt, 500 grams of flaked oats, 250 grams of chocolate malt, 200 grams of German chocolate wheat malt, 150 grams of roasted barley, 100 grams of crystal malt, 500 grams of lactose, and I was thinking possibly adding 500 grams of maltodextrose, but I've yet to make my mind up on that front. Hour boil, and then bittering hops, 15 grams of something at 15% alpha acids. He used Magnum, I will use whatever I've got. So I think I've got some Moria or some Chinook, which are high alpha acids. So yes, that's all cool. We're up to temperature on the thing, the brewing device I use. So I'll add the grains. So that is all of the grains added, and as you can see they're just recirculating. Looks a bit brown at the moment, so hopefully it will darken up. If not, I'll add some brewer's caramel. Right, so we've reached the end of the mash, and we have a very black looking stout, which is excellent. It's time to start the spargeroni. Just coming to the start of the boil. So we've reached the start of the boil. I'm just going to make the one and only hop addition. I'm using 15 grams of Warrior, 15% alpha acids. Hapless used Magnum, but this is just bittering hop, so I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference. So yes, I'll chuck it in the old hop spider. The scales broke, so I've had to guess what 15 grams of hops looks like, and that looks around 15 grams. If it's not duff titties, that's what's gone in. So that's 500 grams of maltodextrose and 500 grams of lactose. I'm going to dissolve that in some hot water and add it to the Bulldog brewer, which is bubbling away. The last 15 minutes on the boil, one proto flock tablet going in. And I'm doing a bit of filtration of the old beer as well. Lovely colour, look at that. Beautiful. Looking forward to this one. Alright, we're at the cooling down stage. The immersion chiller is in. We're recirculating the lovely black liquid there. And we're all clean in here, and I've got the old, well, not the old, the brand new aerator connected up. See what happens. So we are waiting for everything to cool down. It's a fairly simple boil. 15 grams of, what did I use? Warrior hops at the start for bittering. Well, we think it's 15 grams. We had to obviously guess because the scales have broken. Then 500 grams of lactose, 500 grams of maltodextrose, bodybuilder, and the last sort of 20 minutes, then proto flock tablet. Cooling it down to temperature, as you can see, and using Empire ale yeast, which says it's good for sweet stout, so give that a go. Grain father's all cleaned, so yeah, it's waiting for that to sort itself out. Temperature is 49 degrees Celsius. Get it down to 20 and we're laughing. Well, we've got plenty of froth in there, so yeah, hopefully that's aerated enough. We'll check the hydrometer in a bit. So that is the end of brew day. Really happy with how it went. Perfect brew day, really. No boil overs, no stock mashes or sparges. All good. Efficiencies were high. So I think the intended original gravity was 1065. I got 1069. So that's a couple of points above. Used 500 grams of maltodextrose instead of the brown sugar in the recipe. Don't know if that makes much difference or not, but that's what I've done. And yeah, got to add this in 5 days time. 100 grams of cacao nibs in 100 millilitres of vodka. Ooh, looks quite nice, doesn't it, actually? I could eat that now. Anyway, so yeah, add that in a couple of days time. Empire ale yeast to ferment it. Lots of air in the vert, however you pronounce it. I always struggle with that word. Is it wort? I don't know. Anyway, all good. Pretty happy with how it's been, really. Going to, as soon as it's finished fermenting, I'll split it into 2 halves. One of my 9-litre kegs will have peppermint tea bags added to it, or the flavour of peppermint added to it, and the other one I'll just leave it as it is. So I'll have a standard ordinary plain chocolate stout and a chocolate mint stout. Exciting. So yes, this is the second beer for my Dark Side Beer Festival. The first one is the Death Star Dunkel, Munich Dunkel, and yes, the chocolate mint and chocolate stout, which will have suitably Star Warsy themed names eventually. So yes, Palpatine Porter is next. Yeah, so yeah, I've got a couple of ideas for that. Anyway, I'm rambling. Next brew day might be Sunday, I don't know. I've got a rail tour on the Saturday. It's going up from King's Cross to Durham, behind Union of South Africa, and A4, and then coming back with a Deltic, spending the day at Beamish. So I don't get back to King's Cross until 10:30. So then I've got to get back from Euston to Watford. So that might be... I need to check the trains, actually. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, so that's going to be fun. So I might be a bit knackered on the Sunday to want to brew. Going to be brewing the Imperial Stout, the 1848 Barclays Imperial Stout. Imperial Brown Stout. The original Russian brown stout. Look at that bugger. Ooh. Only problem is the high level of grains in it. So 6.8 kilos of pale malt, 2.7 kilograms of brown malt, 1.2 kilograms of amber malt, and 340 grams of black malt. That's quite a grain bill. Quite a grain bill. Should up with a 9.26% beer or so. I'm going to have to think about that one. That's going to be a very interesting one to try and brew. Very interesting. Anyway, enough of me rambling. Not more of me rambling. You don't see any more of that. So yes, Hapless's chocolate stout. Well, it's actually salted caramel chocolate stout, but I've removed the salted caramel aspect. Au revoir.